All right, we're trying to find exact values of trig functions in radians. Find the exact value of secant 7 pi over 4 in simplest form with a rational denominator. So we can't have any radicals in the bottom of the fraction, and if we do have a radical somewhere, then we have to simplify it or pull out any perfect squares. All right, so first thing we want to do is we want to look at where secant is on our xy unit circle. So we draw a unit circle. This is 0 or 2 pi or 4 pi. It keeps going on around. This is pi over 2. This is pi. And this is 3 pi over 2. Now we got 7 pi over 4. So we want to multiply top and bottom by 2. So this is really 6 pi over 4. We want to have that same denominator of 4 here. So I'm going to look at the 2 pi, multiply by 4, multiply by 4. So this is really 8 pi over 4. Notice now we can see 7 pi over 4 is between 6 pi and 8 pi. So there we are right there. That's going to be our 7 pi over 4. Now, we always want to look at a reference angle when we do these. So when we do this, we go to the unit circle, which is 1, and then we match it right here. So what would this angle be of this triangle? This is quadrant 4. Let's remind ourselves, quadrant 4 triangle. And that angle is going to be this 7 pi over 4, which is all the way around, 7 pi over 4, subtracted from our 2 pi. So 7 pi over 4 subtracted from 2 pi, which is 8 pi over 4. All right, so the reference angle here is pi over 4. Okay, then now that we know this reference angle, we'll go ahead and calculate. Now secant is equal to 1 over cosine, or basically the reciprocal of cosine. So if I find the cosine of pi over 4, then I flip it, and then that'll give us the answer here. So let's see, cosine of pi over 4. Pi over 4 is the same thing as 45 degrees. So we're going back to our special right triangles. So this is 1, 1, and radical 2 for the 45, or pi over 4. Pi over 4 is the same thing as 45. So cosine of this, cosine of pi over 4 is equal to SOHCAHTOA. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is 1. That's this side right here, adjacent. Hypotenuse is this side right here. And then this would be the opposite side. So adjacent over hypotenuse, radical 2. All right, so this was cosine of pi over 4, well, which is what we wanted. And then we would flip it to get our secant of the pi over 4. So secant of the 7 pi over 4 is equal to radical 2. Okay, so we're just flipping that cosine. Now the last thing we have to be careful of is we're in quadrant 3, 4. We're in quadrant 4 here. All right, so sine and cosine, which one's negative in quadrant 4? Well, I think of it in terms of a tangent is sine over cosine, which is y over x. Okay, so cosine is the x-related value. Okay, cosine of this was pi over 2, so we didn't have to mess with any negatives since this is also related to the x value or the cosine. All right, so it means we don't switch it. The y is negative, not the cosine or the x. Okay, let's see how we did. So I got radical 2, positive. All right. That's a lot of work to get through these, bouncing around. Quadrant 4, secant is positive, so is cosine. reference angle is 45. We did the cosine of 45. Radical 2 over 2. I got radical 2 over 1. Mm-hmm. 1 over, yeah. So we're okay. Everything was fine. They were just rationalizing the denominator and stuff, I think. Yes. So that this is the same thing as 1 over radical 2. So just to rationalize the denominator, you would multiply top and bottom by radical 2, top and bottom by radical 2 to get the radical out of the bottom, like I said. This gives us radical 2 on top, and on the bottom we'd multiply these together. 2 times 2 is 4, and there's our radical 2 over 2. Okay, yeah, I just didn't rationalize it because I knew we were flipping it anyway. All right, everything looks good on this one.